Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Musiak. And today I want to share a little story about how a girl, hint, 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 me, used to compare myself to almost everybody. You know, it's like, oh, I have to do it as good as this person, or why is this person, better at this than me, or why does this person have this and not me? Why did this person get the job and not me? And it's just constantly comparing myself. And I spent, I don't know how many years comparing myself, and it was not a healthy thing for me. And I'll be honest, I definitely fall into that trap now and then still. For the most part, I'll catch myself. But it was not empowering. Because here's the thing about comparing yourself to others. It kills your joy. It makes you feel like you're not enough. Comparing yourself to others robs you from the amazingness that you are. And it takes the spotlight off of you and your amazingness. And then you focus and almost magnify what other people are doing. And then it makes you feel less than who you really are. For an example, social media. I'm so glad social media was not around when I was a teenager, by the way, FYI. Whoo, that would be a messy situation. Anyways, social media has it where we get to see what the other person has decided on showing us. Now, I try to go to my way a lot to show parts of my struggles, or I just don't show up at all sometimes. Full truth. If I'm having a really bad day, I won't even go on there. Social media, though, will show you what people want you to see. And that's a part of the problem, right? You'll just see people's perfect lives on social media. Now, that not being said that people don't share their struggles and stuff, but for the most part, people are picking and choosing what they share with you. And even before social media, people don't always share all their struggles, all their heartache, all the things that are going on in their head 24/7, because you're not alone with these crazy, if you have, I shouldn't say that you have crazy thoughts in your head, but if you do, or it doesn't even have to be crazy thoughts, but if you have thoughts that, oh, I'm not good enough, or what about if I fail, or whatever is going on in your head, we all have those thoughts. We all have them. It's how we handle them and how we all think and have thoughts throughout the day. Some people might have a little bit more positive thoughts, a little cheerleader going on, you can do it. Yes, you can. And then others are just really, who do you think you are? You can't do this. You're not smart enough. Or educated enough, or have enough money, whatever it is. We all have thoughts, good or bad, running through our head. So we're human, right? We're all human and we have them. Now, not everybody shares what's going on in their heads with others. Some people wear their emotions on their sleeves. Others keep them in and brew until they explode like a bottle of champagne. And I've been on both ends of that. So comparing ourselves to others, what we see on the outside, is really unfair to ourselves. It's funny because if we could ask other people what they think of us, they most likely wouldn't share the things that we don't like about ourselves. If you go out and talk to a really good friend, they're going to share things that you're like, wow, you see me like that? We all see people differently. And the more you start loving yourself, the more you start believing in yourself, and the more you just focus on all the awesome that makes you, you get to shine that through even more. And then you get to start seeing yourself the way other people get to see you. And don't get me wrong, some people I'm sure out there, that might not see that, but that's okay. That's not your jam. You don't have to worry. There's a thing, and I'm going to be paraphrasing, but what I think of you is what you think of me is none of my business. So we just need to go out and be who we are. And that starts with going inward and stop looking outward. Because wow, comparing ourselves to others, it really is messy. And I can say that wholeheartedly because I've been there. I have gone down so many different rabbit holes because I saw somebody doing a certain thing. I'm like, oh, I have to do something this way because somebody else is doing it this way. I've even had to stop myself, even over the last few years, as an entrepreneur, and I'm just starting out. I'm looking at people that have been in the business for 15, 20, 25 years, even 30. And I was comparing myself to them. I felt like I had to be where they were. I'm like, wait a second. I am just starting out. Let's look back to where they were when they started. When we compare and we think we have to be a certain place in our lives, our timetable has to be just like somebody else's timetable, we're not being true to who we are. We're not leaning into the talents, the strengths, and the awesomeness that is unique to us. And that is why meditation and yoga has really been an amazing thing for me, because that was when I really started getting, on track with my body and my mind and my soul, meeting on the mat or just meditating, I shouldn't say just meditating, opening up space to listen. Because just for a minute, think about your day. What do you hear throughout your day? Now, maybe you're alone a lot and you just hear your own thoughts. And maybe they're just kind of, taking over like a wild jungle, wow, all crazy going on in there. Because I know mine has and still does sometimes if I'm not mindful of it. Or maybe you're listening to other people talk, or you're watching the news. I had actually relieved myself from that world again for a while, because I had to listen to my body and listen to my stress levels and things like that, and just knew I had to take a break. And it's figuring out, what are you listening to all day? Are you listening to other people, or your own thoughts, or I guess you're listening to me, so that's amazing, something inspiring. And that's actually a really good thing. That was actually what I was going to say next is, I find that when I'm when I'm going down that road of comparing or just even negative thoughts, that's when I lean on into listening to podcasts, inspirational books, something that's going to motivate me, or even just music that makes me happy. It snaps you kind of right out of that moment of comparing. For example, too, the other day, my husband and I were talking, and my husband mentioned something about oh, this kid is doing this. I'm like, honey, it's not our job to compare our kid to that kid and things like that. We all do it, and we still do it to this day. Kids, parenting styles, just so many different things, right? And sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. So it's filling your head with loving thoughts for yourself and just inspiring thoughts in general, and take you kind of out of that comparing mode. It's really important to kind of just shift out of that. And it's not about beating yourself up. I talk about this all the time. Not about comparing, or not about beating yourself up ever. It's about noticing and becoming aware of it so you can make a shift. Like I said, I still fall into comparing mode sometimes. Why are they getting ahead? How are they doing it? Or, just different things. And then I'm like, wait a second. I'm comparing myself to somebody else again. And that is not serving me. That does not serve me at all. And then I reshift my focus to what I am doing. What can I do? There's something I think I've shared this. Yes, I shared this before on a podcast where I made kind of like a movie vision board. And one of the things is like, what can I do today? So I ask myself every day, like, what can I do today? It's not like, what can I do today to be as good as this person? It's, what can I do today? Where can I meet myself and do, what can I do for this world and bring my best foot forward today? Because guess what? Every day is different too, right? Maybe some days you have really good days. And, you could be on the other side of comparing. There's comparing, and then there's like, yay, I'm better. Like you're almost like celebrating because you're winning. Sorry, I'm just reminding myself of we pulled out the Wii the other day because it was kind of cold and chilly, and we're like, we want to get moving and things, and thought the kids might be a good age to do it. But my son was running, and he was excited because he was beating the person in front of him. And the reason I'm laughing is because he was actually not supposed to beat that person. It was the guy towards the Wii. It was the Wii Fit one. So he outran his guide. It's not about a race and outrunning somebody else. It's about staying true and on your path and doing things on perfect time for you. The only person you need to look at is you. How far have you come? Like, look back, just even over this year or a few years. Maybe this wasn't your best year. I don't know. It has been a hard year for a lot. So don't judge yourself if it's been a challenging year. But look how far you've come. And if you're still here, obviously you are because you're listening, you have come and you've made it through this past year. You've made it through the year before and the year before that. Look how far you have come. You are not the same person you were a year ago or 2 years ago or even last week, I'm sure. And you can ask yourself, how and where can you improve? How and where can you improve? Not how can I be as good as this person, but how and where could you improve? Maybe it's just thinking a couple of more positive thoughts about yourself. Or just being mindful when you fall into the comparing mode, because it happens to everybody. Because I have actually listened to people that are famous, people that are that have like millions of dollars, and they're celebrities, and they fall into the mode where they don't feel like they're good enough, or they're comparing themselves to other people because they want to be as good as somebody else. We all feel like this from time to time. We all do. It's just being mindful and loving towards yourself when you do. And then course correcting, or even just pausing. You don't even have to do anything. Just pause, be like, oh, there I am again. And you can even make it a little bit of a joke. Oh, there I am again. That is not my business. Like, what is my business? Like, what can I do? So what and how can you improve? Where and how can you improve? So you can live your best life. No one else is driving. You're not taking a cab through your life. Well, maybe you are. Get out of that cab and get your own car. Drive your own life. You are in control. You are in control of how you get to show up. So how are you going to show up today? What can you do? And how are you going to show up? I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.